Hi, and welcome back to Craft Along with Jay. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Yara, and I am so happy you could join me today. Today is the first of the month collaboration, this the season, and the host is Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, and the guest host is Lynn from Fidget DIYs. The links to the channels will be down in my description box, along with a link to the playlist, so you can check out all these amazing crafters who are participating. All right, for project number one, I am going to take this big snowflake that I got from the Dollar Tree, and our first thing I'm doing is removing the tag, and then I am going to, what am I doing? Oh, yep, I got this pretty napkin from the Dollar Tree as well, and I'm going to take off that back ply, and it was done really well. I was kind of having a bit of a hard time getting just this one ply off. Normally they come off pretty easily, but this one was stuck. And as you can see, not all of it came off, so I gotta go back in and just get those pieces off. And that kind of came off easy once I found a little spot where I could pull it from. But I just had to be so careful because, yeah, it was really on there pretty well. And that's the napkin I'm gonna use with some snowflakes on it. And then I'm gonna cover my snowflake with some Mod Podge and let it completely dry. And then I'll put my napkin on top and make sure position in a way that I want. And then I'll put my parchment paper on top, and then I'll take my mini heat press and I'm gonna iron the napkin on. The heat will activate the Mod Podge and able to adhere the napkin to it without any wrinkles. So I'm just going from the middle and working my way out, and gotta make sure you get all the way out to the edges because you don't want anything lifting at all. So I'm taking my time and I'm just making sure I'm going from the middle and working my way out all the way to the tip, all the way around. And then I'm just kind of double checking all the way around. And when I'm happy that everything is down, I'm taking this little emery board just because there's so many small edges to get into and grooves. Um, I wanted something that was a little bit bigger, but the Dollar Tree didn't have any when I went. And typically I forget to pick them up when I do go. So yeah, I took what they had. At least I had something. But it worked really well when I had to get into the small spaces right there. And I'm going to work my way all the way around so it looks like this when I'm done. And then I'm going to go over the light coat of Mod Podge. And I'm going to cover the whole thing, and I'm going to pay close attention to the edges because I want to make sure nothing's going to peel up at any time. But just a light coating. And then I'm going to let that sit and dry. And then I go back in with some more Mod Podge, and I'm just going to go around the edges, as you see right here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of snow, some faux snow that you can see in my little baggie right there. And I'm going to do that all the way around my snowflake. And while you watch me do that, I want to take a moment just to say thank you so much for watching today. And if you subscribed and you continue to come back and watch, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. And if you're new, welcome. I'm happy that you're here today. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and help me reach 1,500 subscribers by Christmas. It would really mean a lot to me. I am like so close. As of this voiceover, I am only 48 subscribers away from hitting my goal. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and join me on my journey here on YouTube. And here you can see I'm adding my little faux snow around the edges. So I work in section. I do a little bit at a time. One tip of the snowflake, I'll add some snow, and then I'll dump the excess right down into my bag because I can reuse it. I'm going to do the same thing. I wipe it off my table, and then I'll put it in my bag and reuse it. And I'm going to do this all the way around. And then I got this ornament. I think this is from Dollar Tree. Could be Dollar General, but I'm pretty sure it's Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to add some glue to the middle. Yeah, I'm kind of looking around to see if there's anything else I would be touching um, my snowflake when I put it down, but it's really just that little thing in the middle. So that's why I added some hot glue, and that's what it looks like so far. Then I'm going to put that to the side. And then I got this wood square from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm going to give it two coat of metallic paint. And it's an ivory pearl. I'm giving it two coats. And then I got this pretty trim from Hobby Lobby. It looked like snowflakes or little snowballs. And I thought they went really well with my theme. Today's theme is winter for me. So everything in here you're going to see is kind of winter related. And I thought this was perfect. And I'm going to attach this all the way around my wood square. And I thought I could go around the edges just so I could do all the way around without having to cut for each side, but it didn't really work that well. So I had to cut every time I get to a corner, I have to cut and then start over. But it's okay because you can't really tell um, the way you cut it and when you add it back on there. So it's okay. I just thought I could go all the way around and not cut. Just didn't work out that way. And there we go. Now we're going to attach the big snowflake. And it will touch the trim, and that's okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of hot glue on each side and attach it. And I'll do the same thing to the bottom and the top. And to hold it in place, because the snowflake is warped a little bit, so I'm going to add some little clamps right here to hold it down. And that way, when everything is dry and I take them off, they're attached to all sides, and it's kind of pretty much flush to the board itself. And here I'm just adding some more and put a clamp on it to hold it down. And then the last place at the bottom. And then I got this beaded garland from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm just going to measure out how much I need to make my little hanger. And I wanted it to start with the same color bead on each side. So it kind of goes in the same pattern all the way around. And once I've found that place, I'm going to just go ahead and cut, like you see right here. And then I'm going to, there's a loop on each end, and I cut it where I had a loop on one side, and I'm going to untie it because I'm going to use the same string. I'm just going to move the beads a little bit further in so I have enough to tie it off. And one bead fell off, so I'm going to just use a little masking tape it on the tip of my jute twine right here and then string it back on. And here I'm just going to put it through the hole in the wood square and tie a little knot and then cut off the excess. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. And then I'm just making sure the beads are not going all the way down the back, but kind of, so it starts at the top of the wood square. So when it hangs, there's no thick stuff behind it. And that's what it looks like. And I think it turned out super cute. I love that purple red in the middle right there. So you're gonna have to let me know what do you think about this one. But it definitely screams winter to me, and that's kind of what I was going for. It is that time, can you believe it? Project number two. I got a bunch of these stars. I am not sure where I got them from at all. So I'm going to use two stacks of three, and I'm going to line them up so the tip of the squares are kind of offset each other a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out how much I need to offset them because I am going to stack three on top of each other. So I'm kind of playing around with the placement. And once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and use some Titebond wood glue. And I'm just going to cover the middle part, give it a nice good coating. And then I'm going to start adding the stars on top. So this is the bottom one. And once I got a nice good coat, I'm going to take another one and add it on so it offsets a little bit. And I'm just trying to make sure that the tip of the stars are kind of at the same height, if that makes sense. Um, just so they're not, one is out further than the other. It's not going to look right. So I'm just very carefully kind of assessing it. And that's why I'm not using hot glue because once you put it down, that's kind of it. when you put it down the wood glue, you still have plenty of time to manipulate it and move it until you're happy with the placement. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to add some more wood glue to the middle. And then we're going to add the last one on top. And what you see me do to this cluster of stars, I'm going to do the same thing to the other three that's laying off to the side. And here goes the last one. It's really neat. They kind of look like poinsettias too. That's not what I'm making, but you could make this poinsettias too like this. I think that would look super cute. Then I'm adding some clamps to hold it in place, and I'm going to let it sit for a while to let it set before I go in and paint them. And here they are. I think it's been several hours here, so that's enough time uh, that they're not going anywhere. They're pretty tight. So I'm going to use this Glacier Blue paint. Was it from DecoArt? I can't even remember who it was by. I just know I love this color for winter. I think it's such a nice, beautiful winter color. And I'm going to go ahead and paint both my stack of stars all the way. That's what they look like. It's a pretty blue color. I love it. And then here we go with the Mod Podge again. There's a lot of Mod Podging going on today. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go around all the edges on all three stars in the stack, if that makes sense. You can kind of see what I'm doing right here. I did the top, now the middle. And I'm also going to do the bottom tip. And you'll see me do this here in a second. There we go. And I'm going to do that all the way around. And when you see me do it to one star, a stack of stars, I'm going to do the same thing to the other stack of stars. And I'm going to work in sections here as well. And then we're going to add some silver glitter. I want to make sure I add this before the Mod Podge dries, because I want to make sure that the glitter is going to adhere to it. And I'm just carefully adding some of that glitter. Carefully, but I'm adding enough that it's going to cover. And I go all the way around, and then I'm going to check off the excess. And you'll see in a second what that's going to look like. There we go. And if I have a little spot where I'm missing some glitter, I'll just go in with a little bit of Mod Podge and then add some more glitter. So it has a nice look all the way around. And then I had one more spot. But other than those two spots, everything else turned out really well. And once I got these two things fixed, and that's what it looks like, and I think it looks really beautiful. There we go. And I got these silver glittery tea light candles from the Dollar Tree as well. So we made little candle holders for them. And here they are with the lights on. Aren't they beautiful? I really like them. I can't wait to display them down here because you can have them up now and they can stay all the way through winter. All right, just one more project, project number 3. We got this mold with some beautiful trees. And so we're going to use our clay and we're going to cast all 3 of them. And we're just going to make sure to press the clay down really well. Go and wipe off the excess. And I'm just taking my time with it and pressing it down to make sure we get all the beautiful details that you can see in this mold. So once I got them all set, I'm gonna pop them all out. And they come out really quickly and really well in these molds right here. You see, come out so fast. But it was that little one. I wasn't quite happy with how that looks. So I put it back in and did it again. And while that's drying, I got this little, it used to be a clipboard. You can see I took that thing off in the top there. And I'm going to paint that with my Glacier Blue as well. And don't worry about that little hole. We'll cover that up. We're not going to leave it there. Then I got this rub-on transfer that I got from my friend Nikki from Nikki's Eye for DIY. Make sure you check out her channel as well. I'll link her down in my description box. And I'm going to do the top part. And I'm going to do some rubbing and then pull back and rub some more and pull back until I'm happy with it. But I'm only doing the top part because I do not want the middle part to um, go down in that little divot you can see right there. So I'm putting it down on the next section and then adding it right there. And then I'll just keep rubbing till it's down. And then I had to fix a couple of the letters right there. Then I go in with some Mod Podge just to seal it in so it's not going anywhere. I'm just giving it a very light coating. And then I'm going to play around with my trees. They're not completely dry. I let them sit for a little while, but they're not completely dry, so I can still manipulate them. And once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to use it with my Tite Bond wood glue. And then I'm going to add that to the back of it. And I'm going to do the same thing with all three of them. Add some wood glue to the back. Make sure you get all the way out to the edges because you want to make sure the whole thing, once it dries, is adhered to the board and it's not going to go anywhere. And here you do the same thing. Once you place it down, you still have time to work with the placement if you're not happy where it kind of goes down. And here you can see I got it up a little too high, so I'm moving it down a little bit. And then I'm very gently pressing it down to make sure all parts of my tree is touching the board. And I'll do the same thing to the other two. And once that's done, I'm going to go in with Bark Brown, with Folk Art, and Apple Barrel's Christmas Green. And I'm going to go ahead and start painting. First, I paint the trunk of the trees with the Bark Brown. And I'm using a very fine tip brush because I've got to do the top, but also the edges. So you're not showing any of the clay. And then once I'm done with all the tree trunks, I'm going to work on the trees themselves, and I'm going to use the Christmas green for that. Yeah, first I work on the top part of my trees and get into all the little grooves. And then I switch out my brush to a much finer tip brush so I can do the sides of the trees because they are a little bit raised and you don't want to show the clay. So make sure you get that painted as well. And I'm just going to give it one coat. That's all it really needed. And here you can see with my fine tip brush right here, I'm just very carefully working around the edges. And I keep going all the way around all three trees. Then once I'm done with that, I decided to go in with some snow tags just to give it a little winter look. So I'm going to add some snow to the bottom, going all the way across. And then I also do the tree that's sitting up further to the top that looks as in the background. I'm going to give that some snow as well around the trunk and then to the side a little bit, as you see right here. And then I also decided to give the trees a little bit of snow. So that would be the next thing we're going to work on. As you see right here. I go in just with a little bit, kind of brush it on. But then when I get to that little tree, I got a little heavy-handed with it and I couldn't really wipe it off. But we'll just pretend it was a really snowy day, and that's why it looks like that. So, but I think it's cute. I love it. Love the colors. It's given me such a nice winter feel. Let me know what you think. Now let's take a final look at all three projects that we did today. See my little candle holders and the sign. I think they turned out super cute. And in a second, we'll see the big snowflake one. It's hanging on my door right now. So let me know what you think about them. And don't forget to check out the playlist that will be down in my description box. And check out everybody. And make sure you subscribe to the channels if you haven't already done so. And give them a thumbs up and leave them a little comment. And please do the same for me. I would really appreciate it. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time.